All right, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in the house. Let's get this conversation going. Welcome to Love Coach Sessions Live. I'm your man, KTJ, and this is Love Coach Sessions Live. We talk about dating, talk about relationships, we talk about love, and we get into it. So come on in the house. I got some guests. We got a good topic today. So I want you guys to come on in and let's get this conversation going. Today we're talking about Bill and Melinda Gates, a bombshell dropped today at around 7 o'clock p.m. And it was just right at the right time for us to pop on our show and to come on and talk about it. So glad you guys are here. If you are here for the first time, please hit that subscribe button. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, I'd love for you to just hit that share button. Send us some love. Send us some connection. Let us know you're in the house, and we'll be grateful for that. So come on in. Leave your comments down below, and let's have this conversation. I got my man Justin, Coach Justin. He's stopping in. I got some more friends that I think will be coming through. Either way, we're going to enjoy the conversation, and I'm going to be checking out your comments as well. So without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce my man, Coach Justin. He speaks to men. He encourages men. He's a coach. He is a man who's got a good head on his shoulders, and he's going to give you some great insight as a guest on the show today. So my man, welcome, Coach Justin. What's going on, sir?
What's up? Good to see your face. Just hearing your voice for months, man.
Right.
But yeah, it's good. It's good to be here. Man. We got a good topic. Boy, that Bill and Melinda Gates thing just popping off out of the blue. But we both know that wasn't out of the blue.
It's never out of the blue.
No, I bet you anything he thinks it is, though.
Yeah. Men are pretty much always surprised by these things. I can't believe this.
Yeah.
What did I do?
Yeah. Oh, man. She had planners. She had apps going on for months. But knowing her, she probably been planning that shit for years.
Yeah, man.
Exit strategy.
I tell you what. So it's like we really got to talk about this thing, man, because it is kind of out of blue for us, but like as you just said, a lot of people are going through some things. I think Justin, I think that this is also the fallout from the pandemic, right? This is some of that pandemic residue. That people have discovered some things about themselves and their partners that they were like, they really didn't know, or the relief is happening. And so what's your thoughts on that, though?
Well, not in my work, I'm not working with anybody right now who's going through a divorce or anything like that, but I've got friends who are in that situation. And I mean, we're just talking, like I'm not coaching them or anything like that, but in that exact situation, they're like, oh shit, like I'm stuck with this person that I actually never see. Right. I only see them for like maybe an hour in the morning, a couple hours in the evening, and that's it. Right. And now the pressure's just on. And all those little things coming up, it's like, damn, these fucking socks are on the floor again.
Yeah.
Like, damn, she put the pots and pans on the wrong level of the dishwasher.
Yes.
And I'm just playing, but and then the serious shit, like and they're not equipped. They're not equipped to handle these things.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, we humans think that we know what we're doing when it comes to relationships. Like, yeah, I can do this. Let's jump in.
I think also what can't be forgotten in this is that when you're in the pandemic, and the pandemic affected two things in a powerful way, right? The two reasons that people don't get divorced: money and health.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when your money is down and you're struggling, that's not the time to break up. Like, that's the time you'll bite your tongue and you'll just like save for the sake of the whole,
Mm-hmm.
As well, you don't get divorced when you're sick. or there's impending sickness, right?
Right.
Because
Well,
there were
I've heard of it, but it's really fucked up. Like,
yeah,
it's really messed up when people say that. Like, and it's happened. I've heard the stories, but it's kind of messed up. Like, where the guy has some really bad injury at work, and he's never gonna walk again. And, you know, she's just like, all right, peace. I'm out of
yeah,
here.
yeah. Women are a lot less likely to do that than men now. Let's be honest. You know, if you go to jail, your woman is a lot more likely to hold you down and put some money on your books than
Yeah.
the other way around.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of that. Like some dude like holding a torch for his girl who's in in the clink.
It doesn't happen. Look, when the women go in, they already know on visitors day, nobody's coming.
No,
It's a shame, but
that's
the way it
kind of
is.
messed up, but it's true. I never even thought about that before. That shit doesn't happen.
Yeah, my man Robert Lee, he jumped in. He said Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos was first. In their minds, it's time for something new, young and fresh.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
I mean, I don't know what kind of game Jeff has, but Bill. I mean, I'm not gonna bring up any conspiracy theories. I promise. So we'll leave out those personal things, but some tells me that you know, he's gonna be just single for either the rest of his life or a very, very long time.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
Considering the way that men move, listen, as nerdy as he is, there's a woman that would love a hot nerd, a hot rich nerd.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Like, I come from the school that believes in the ultimate power of game, and like I'm talking to a couple of guys, and they're well off, right?
Okay.
Entrepreneur, and another one works for a company, and he's like pretty much close to the very top. And money, cars, properties, and they can't hold a girl down.
Yeah.
Sure, they do the trips, they do the dates, and then she's just like, because they have no game, they have no understanding of how women work and how to bring out their feelings and give them adventures, not just in the physical sense, but in the emotional sense. How to touch them without touching them.
Yeah.
And they can't do it. And these girls just bounce. They're like, all right, cool. Like, it might be like a couple of days, might be a couple of weeks, but eventually she's out. Because it's like money and worldly adventures, they can only stimulate so much for so long.
Sure.
Right? Because if your company is boring, right? I mean, we've been there. You've been out on a date in an awesome place, right? And your date is just a dud. Like, they're not a good conversationalist. They don't know how to tell a good story, and you're just like, oh my god! Like,
but look, Justin, it also depends on
doing that emergency text to your best friend.
yeah, get me out of here. Yeah, listen,
your dog is sick. Oh, I gotta go.
Look, I think it also depends on the woman and her needs, right? Because there are some women who like they've got they've had all the adventures, right? Yeah. They've done all the things. They just need companionship, right? And from a very interesting guy. Look, I bet you Bill Gates is a very interesting guy to have a conversation with.
I would say he's interesting.
like because he's always thinking. You ever see him have that has that look on his face, like he's always thinking, and he's always strategizing and wondering and poking, you know. And that could be very attractive to some women.
It very well could be. Yes, perhaps I'm judging too soon, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Like, but I would say that if it was there, then, you know, she wouldn't be interested in leaving. Like, I just think if there's no reason to leave, then people don't leave. Yeah. Right? If you're stimulated in all ways, and if you know, your needs are being met and new desires are being created rather, because the man is being created, I just don't see how there's a reason, right? Like because like I come from also from the standpoint of men being leaders, right? And part of that is the wizard archetype. You mix the wizard with the lover archetype, and you get passionate creativity.
Yeah,
and it's like that's what keeps things awesome. It's just
But Justin, the thing is, I agree with what you just said, right? I agree. But he was married to his wife for 27 years.
Yeah.
20. So like after a while, she's seen all your wizardry.
I don't know, man.
She's seen.
She's heard all your tricks. People have been married longer than that, and they still rock and roll.
Yeah. But I mean, for the most part, I mean, it's very challenging to keep the show alive and to keep to keep it fresh, keep it from getting stale. And like I could see how Bill and Melinda they're like business partners, right?
They were probably more than that.
Their full-time, their full-time job is giving away their money. Like they're full-time philanthropists.
Yeah.
That's what they do, really.
Yeah. No, I know.
And
again, I'm not going to get into any conspiracy theories. I promise, folks, I won't.
Yeah, and so like that can be, it's almost like when people talk about going into business with your mates. There's some people who can make that work. Like it's just right. It's the right connection, going into business with their mate. You guys get to share thoughts on the business and you're both working together. And then there's the people who fall out and get divorced because they're working with their mate.
Yep.
Because they never turn the switch off. It's like you're at work all the time, and one person gets tired of it after a while.
Yeah, or that spark of attraction was never really encouraging, because I've had situations where I've worked with mates before, and as long as you can keep like an undertone, like there's business to handle, but it's like you can still keep a little bit of that sexy vibe in there between you, right?
Yeah.
Because that makes you feel good, right? And when you feel good, you work better, right? And you collaborate better. And it's just, if it's just all business, right? Then it can get kind of cold if you're working with your mate. Personally, I don't. It would take a very special union to make it right. I think people sort of they idealize that sort of that notion, but I think for the most part, it's just not going to work unless it's the perfect kind of combination of people.
It's definitely got to be right. It's definitely got to be right. And somebody like Bill Gates, when he started, somebody was asking like, will there be a prenup? And I don't think there will be, because I don't think he had any money when they got married. Like, he was just coming out. He was just coming out of the garage.
Yeah, it's gonna be a huge thing, legally speaking, because you're dealing with entities, you're dealing with tons of assets, and how these like companies. I don't even know if they would even divide up the company, right?
Yeah,
they probably keep the company as is, right, and then just marital divorce. But how assets are divided and things like that. Who knows how they set it up?
Yeah.
And the thing about like prenups, like even if they had one, any judge can overthrow a prenup. They're not ironclad. They're not law. It's just something that you set up beforehand and was drafted by a lawyer. But that shit is not ironclad at all.
Yeah. I mean, not to mention the fact that when you've been married for 27 years, there's nothing you can, with 3 kids, like there's no denying that she deserves whatever,
Of course.
whatever.
And also, if they had a prenup back then, they could not have known how all this would have turned out. As big as the company has gotten.
No way. He's so Bill Gates, the fourth richest man in the world. He's worth $130 billion with a B, more money than anybody can spend in a lifetime. And, he now he decided to part ways. Now, Justin, something he said, and I got my girl Jackie, she's in the background. She's waiting to pop on here and share her thoughts. He's now faced with this situation where he's in this place that he's probably hasn't been in a very long time, and his partner, life partner and business partner, they're deciding that the marriage is no more. Like, can somebody still stay partners in business, you think, after being so close and being married? Like, can you still have a good business partnership when the marriage partnership breaks up? What do you think?
I think for that particular relationship, it's been just a business partnership for quite a while.
It's been that way for a while.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. Yeah, their romance, I'm guessing, fell apart a long ass time ago.
I believe.
But then it was just like, hey, this thing is cruising, and all of our people, the financial people, and the the economists, and everybody, they're looking at all the numbers and they're going, oh shit, all right, we're gonna keep this rolling.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's put the pedal to the metal and let's go. And they're just like, okay, then let's just do this as just a business partnership, right?
Yeah.
And she probably had her side pieces, and Bill had his side pieces.
Yeah. And until somebody decided, you know what, I'm tired of this side piece action. I want to be your main piece. You're over here all the time. Look, something happened, Justin.
Oh, so you think Melinda's side piece was like, girl, you got to make a commitment.
Yes.
I'm tired
of you going home over there, back to that guy. You belong with me. You're mine. And I'm tired of sharing you.
Yeah, we'll see, man.
We'll see.
It's a pretty. I would say it's common enough to say that I wouldn't be surprised if somebody in a couple of months came out and was like, "All right, I'm Melinda's new dude."
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Or I just had a flash thought. Or Bill comes out and says, "I'm gay."
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Not at all.
Come out and say, you know what? I've been gay for many years. I'm a gay American. And we say, that's what it was.
Right.
Somebody found out and said that you better pay me, or I'm going to the New York Times and tell the New York Times. And so he decided to fall on his own sword, which is a weird analogy, but
that's right. Yeah. Like, who would do that?
Yeah. But I bet you there's more to this story that's going to come out.
Yeah, see, that's a thing with money, with that much money and power. That certain levels of privilege come with it that we can't even fathom.
Yeah,
we can't even imagine it.
Agree.
It's so far out of our reach.
Agree.
And so there's no telling what's going on. What was going on in the relationship and what was going on outside the relationships, because they have the technical power, the technological power, that if they wanted to do something and be invisible about it, they could. Right?
Sure.
I mean, I bet they probably have some little device or some shit. You go on vacation somewhere and it just like nullifies everyone's camera on their phone so nobody can take pictures of them.
Oh yeah. There's definitely something.
Yeah.
Let me bring Jackie into this conversation. My girl Jackie, she's in the house. She's on the West Coast.
Hi, how are you? How's everything?
Hello, hey, Jackie.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Yes.
Very interesting conversation about those two.
Yes. So what's your thoughts? We talking about Bill and Melinda Gates calling it quits, breaking up. What's your thoughts about this?
Well, listen, I think, the relationship has run its course, quite obviously, and it might have been for a very, very long time. I don't think that they will dismantle that foundation. That foundation is very effective worldwide. I think both of them do care about that foundation and will have an active part in it. I think they will be on the right track. They probably work better, divorced as, two people running this foundation than they were married. Um, um, listen, he's worth about $130 billion, and she deserves half of it. I mean, there's no question. And I think it will be business as usual. I think the love went out a long time ago, and the
Mm.
children are grown. And you know what? They're like in their 60s or 70s, I think, or
Yeah,
like 60s. Maybe they're just looking at, look, I've got 10, 15, 20 more years. I just want to do what I want to do and live my life. And
yeah,
that's it.
yeah. And more people are like looking at that. I really believe that the pandemic is something that caused people to like really look at their lives and really evaluate what's really bringing them happiness, bringing them satisfaction, and they're making some new choices and new decisions. And so I think this
Absolutely.
I think this is just the beginning.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, listen, maybe Jeff Bezos gave him the spark to, you know, to do this. Who knows?
Yeah, good.
You
that
know.
that
But
chick
look, I
that
mean, Jeff Bezos's wife moved on. Look, I think she got married, didn't she?
yeah, she did. She
Yeah.
did.
She
Quick.
got married. She got married to a science
A
teacher.
science teacher,
Yeah.
right?
And who knows? They might have been. Listen. Look, they might have had relationships outside the marriage, and they knew about it.
Hmm.
And sometimes it's better to just know and do nothing, because the repercussions at that time might be great for whatever reason. Maybe they're looking to buy a company or something, and just keep it personal until it's time and just dismantle the marriage.
Yeah, 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 yeah. What do you think about that, Justin?
Uh, it seemed what I think is interesting was the scientist marriage. I'm sorry, science teacher marriage, and it just makes me think of a lot of the discussions that we're in, right? About very successful women who are just like, you know what, I just need a great guy to share my life with. And like, because they've shifted their own paradigm of not needing a guy for financial means, for
Yeah.
financial survival or any survival for that matter. So, but the only thing that's missing is man. And there's no real price tag on man. Like, you can't buy that part. So it's like, okay, that's the part that I need. The
Yeah,
qualities and embodiment of manhood,
yeah,
right? So I just find it really interesting that that's what she did. It wasn't because like she didn't need a bag. Like,
yeah,
fuck.
yeah, yeah. And
I mean,
Justin, I think you're right, and I think that this is also a sign for men, right? That you may have to start retooling and really like looking at yourself and looking at your strengths and all of that and right like because some of these women now probably more than ever like they really don't need men for their financial security. They're like that lady. Like the women are the ones that are getting the bag, and they've got all the things. They got their own house, own car, own 401k. Like they got their own everything except the male presence. You
yeah.
know?
I mean,
Mhm.
everybody should take a chapter out of Prince Philip's book when he married Queen Elizabeth. I mean, when they married Queen Elizabeth, she wasn't queen, she was princess, but there's no trajectory for her to, they thought would never be a queen. And then when it happened, I mean, he had to overnight, you know, relinquish a lot,
Yeah.
give up his last name. He had to take a back seat. And that was, he was a very macho guy. You look at you look at what you call it. Look, they're not married, but you know what? I've met them a couple of times. You look at Stedman and Oprah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he is truly, 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 and people don't seem to realize this, but I saw it. He's truly the brain behind her.
Hmm.
Own Network would have never become owned had he not. He was the one who thought about it and put
Hmm.
it in her ear And that's the God honest truth.
Hmm.
You're more of a man when you can step aside and let your woman flow, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And you're more of a man. And I think a lot. Look at what's her name, Margaret Thatcher.
Hmm.
I mean, her husband, and she depended on his opinion. I mean, like Oprah, Stedman is her confidant.
Yeah. 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 I
So
believe
I
that.
mean, there's more value in that than anything else. Believe
Hmm.
me when I tell you.
Yeah.
So optics in public is one thing, but behind closed doors is a whole other story.
Sure. I would agree, except in just the one statement of stepping aside, because I found that in my own experience and in my work, is that it's not stepping aside. It's as a man becoming a vessel in order for her to flow. Like, and
Mm,
that's where the feelings of safety,
True,
security,
and you're
comfort,
right. You're right.
confidence, and it's a holding. And then within that holding,
Right.
it can really open up. And it's like holding without controlling. It's a weird dichotomy.
yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah, you're absolutely right. That like it just goes to show that it's not like they always say, like, oh, behind every great man is a great woman, right? Like a good example, I would think of the Obamas, right? It's like I'm like Barack is he's a front man, right? He's a very good speaker.
Oh yeah.
He's charismatic, but you can tell. But I mean, I'm into
Michelle
astrology.
rules.
I was raised with astrology, so it's like I know about this. He's a Leo,
Oh, I love that.
so he's very good about that.
Mhm,
But she's a Capricorn,
mhm,
Hmm.
so she's got the strategic mind
mhm.
and
Yeah.
the planning mind. So she was like, all right, this is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to say.
Hmm.
Like, this is how I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
it's going to roll, and all the planning
Yeah.
involved down the line. And he's like,
No
okay,
doubt.
I'll
Yeah.
make it
Yeah.
roll.
But
No
And
but
doubt
you know
about
what?
it. I mean,
But
she
but
rules. I
but
mean, you could tell
listen.
Michelle rules.
But that says something about us as we're having partners and trying to figure out who's right for us, who's not right for us. You
Mhm.
know, having somebody who can speak into your life and speak into your direction.
Yeah.
I often one of the things I talk to
Major.
people about as they're trying to find the one that they're looking for that they need. I'd say don't just find the one who's right for you today. Look for somebody whose futures match yours,
No
right?
doubt.
Somebody who's in the 5 years, 10 years from now, you guys are going in the same direction and you can add value to each other's life in the future, not just today,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. And there's, when it comes to powerful women, look, you have your husband or your partner. Um, that is the one person that you can trust with everything.
Should
That
be.
is that is valuable, guys. I mean, and will tell you when your shit really does stink. You know what I mean? And just uh, the brains behind your force. That's a you can't. There's no price to that.
Mhm.
And so when you look at women like a Margaret Thatcher, or those you say, look at that husband. That husband, he's quiet, but he's a quiet storm. He's a
Yeah.
force to be reckoned with. That's the power right there. Nothing
Yeah.
Sure.
else.
So
Hmm.
what do you think is next for Melinda Gates? Okay, so now she is. Anybody know how old Melinda Gates is? Maybe somebody can do the math, or maybe somebody will drop it in the chat. How old
No,
is Melinda Gates
but
at this
I'll
point?
tell you what, her SMV is quite a few steps higher than his.
It may be right. Hold on, Justin. Wait, maybe. So we talk about the future of Melinda Gates. She's a now she's a wealthy, probably 50, 60 something.
I would
You
say
know,
late 50s, early 60s. You want me to look? I
yeah,
can look.
56.
uh,
She's 56 years old.
Yeah. Okay.
56.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now somebody might say 56 is kind of prime. like
Yeah.
like she still got a few years on
Mhm.
her
She's got
to
a lot of years.
she's got some years on her to find what she's looking for. But
Mhm.
what kind of man can she find who won't be intimidated by that kind of wealth?
I would assume someone who's scholarly, someone who might be um, involved some way in some kind of charity,
Look,
global thing,
look,
you know?
because Bill, those are some big shoes to fill. Let's be honest.
Mhm.
Yeah, but but you know what? Maybe big shoes to fill as far as who he is and what he discovered. I mean,
Yeah,
what he
true.
created, but may not be big shoes to fill as far as personality. You know, he may be he may come off a certain way on television, but behind closed doors, he may have a personality of a paper clip. You just don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? I, I wouldn't be surprised if she met someone and partnered or married somebody who was involved some way on some global blah blah blah. With medicine or science or something like that. I mean, that's
Or maybe
or
somebody
the
who's a little
humanities.
bit more
You know,
passionate, a little less
something
analytical.
along that line.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. She gonna marry
Absolutely.
she's gonna marry a
You know.
WWF wrestler.
Right. Right. Well, I was thinking like a famous
That
artist or
now
something like
that's
that.
hot.
You're thinking of what? What'd you say, John?
Like a famous artist or
Or just
something.
somebody.
Famous artist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like
Mhm.
maybe like a Travis Tritt, or like a country, a famous country singer, or you know.
Yeah, I could see that too.
No, 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 she's not doing that. Please.
But it's just to make the I guess to make the point that it won't be an equal in that space. It'll be because if she gets with somebody or maybe already has, it'll be because what he brings to her that was missing, right? That brings those feelings of comfort, security,
Absolutely.
arousal, right?
Absolutely.
And that's all those really important things that sometimes get lost in long marriages, especially when you're married to a computer programmer.
Yeah, Justin, I think you might be hitting on something that our Madam Butterfly. Yeah, she's undefeated, buddy.
Someone just want a great role in the have learned that from much older women.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So you guys are kind of in sync on that. That
Mhm.
maybe she just needs passion. She wants that maybe that thing that's been missing in her marriage, and her like having a man who actually desires her, and
Mhm.
is ready to drink her up, and all that
Sure.
good stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I could absolutely
I
see
mean,
that. I mean, what woman wouldn't want that, right?
yeah, yeah.
yes.
like right, that's like one of the best things that a man can bring,
Yeah.
right?
Well, again, all of this depends on the woman, right?
Absolutely.
So you guys both think that Melinda is in a good space, a good. She's probably going to find a man who like lights her fire and turns her on.
Yeah, I would
I just
agree.
think she's looking for someone that is basically, bottom line, going to make her happy again. She's probably
Mhm.
hasn't been happy in a long time. And whatever that is for her, happy is subjective.
Yeah,
So whatever it is that's going to make her happy, she will. Listen, she may not want to be bothered with anybody. Like, she may just want to have partners and that's it. She may not want to be married again, you know?
Someone to make your toes curl.
Well, listen, she could buy that if she wanted to, but it's going to have to be somebody
Yeah,
that, that she really, really digs. And
yeah,
that's the bottom line. And it may not necessarily have to be married. I mean, Oprah, instead of not married, what's her name? What's the Goldie Hawn and her man? They have a great relationship. They've been together for over 30 years.
who's that? You said Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell.
Is he? Didn't he die? He's dead.
No, no, he's not dead.
no, you're thinking you're thinking
You
of?
mean
It's like what?
Kirk Russell? Kirk Russell. I don't know.
Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn.
Okay.
They've been living together. They've been together for over 30 years, not married, children. They
Hmm.
have a great relationship.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So how about for Bill? Like, what happens now? Now he's single. Now he can explore his projects. He can go flying around the world. He doesn't have to call home. He doesn't have to go home. Like because he was doing all these trips around the world, and a lot of times she was with him. right? Because they move together a lot. So like, what happens for a guy like Bill Gates now? Like, now that he's free to roam about as he pleases, you know, is he interested in a hot, sexy new woman? Does he desire just to have the freedom to go and get locked into his little projects and that sort of thing? Or what's your thoughts, Justin?
Well, I'm actually looking at like what's going on with their kids, because
that's a good question. How old are anybody know how old their kids are?
I don't know how old their kids are, but there's this article here saying that they will not be getting much of the family's fortune.
Yeah.
That they, right, and that's really interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah. He and I believe Jeff Bezos. I forget what they're calling it. But it's a
wait a second, wait.
A giving.
Bill Gates has gone on record saying that each of his 3 children will only inherit 10 million.
Yeah, which is like
that's
like pocket money. 10 million is not that much when your father's a billionaire.
Yeah,
worth 130 billion.
Right. Yeah. But I'm sorry that for the deviation. What was the question that
so
posed?
I know he's got 3 kids. And I'm not sure what their ages are, but they look like they're either teenagers or almost grown.
Yeah, young teens, it looks like.
Yeah.
But you had posed a question before I brought up their children.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm interested in that because that's a factor. They have kids. I want to say maybe teens, and those kids are going to be going off to school, off to college after being married for 27 years. Their kids are kind of young for them to have been married so long, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is interesting. Must have had their kids later on in life.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Must have.
Yeah, but they've got financial people planning everything out. They'll do that 10 million. It's already been probably divvied and sorted in funds and that are growing like crazy. So by the time they're 18, they're going to be billionaires themselves.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You never know. The kids might be relieved that they're separating. You just never know.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, he could have been like a vengeful psychopath behind closed doors. Seriously, you never know like how people are, man.
Yeah,
you're right. That's what I'm saying. You just never know.
Or completely ignore them because he's so busy trying to solve malaria in an African village that he's ignoring the situation in his own village.
That can happen. That could happen. And I think that's kind of where it makes sense when the example of going for the school teacher, right? Because that's like much more down to earth. It's like at this point, Bill is not even on this planet anymore.
Fact.
Right? He's in orbit. And it's like, how can you even I don't know. I just imagine it just be hard to deal with somebody who's in orbit. You know what I'm saying?
Believe me, there's a lot of women that will put up with that. Okay.
I'm sure there would. I'm sure there would. But after 27 years, right? Or probably not all the 27 years, but for a good chunk of those 27 years, it was like, my dude is just not even here. Like he is in the stratosphere dealing with the entire planet.
Yeah.
Right. And I just want him to deal with me sometimes.
Yeah.
And maybe just that wasn't there,
So let's talk about the high profile divorce on the kids. Now they do have, I'm sure the kids do have handlers and they got everything that they need. But how do you think a high profile divorce impacts those kids? Because at the end of the day, I don't care how much money you have, mommy and daddy, it's the same dynamic, whether you got $40,000 total income in the house or 300 $130 billion. Mom and dad or mom and dad. So how do you think that impacts them? Jackie, you
Well,
go. Jack,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Jackie, you
Yeah,
go.
I think it would only be as impactful as there is or isn't drama. I mean, if it's a clean cut, this is what we, agree to, and it's quiet, like Jeff Bezos. Did you see any drama with the kids, with his, and with the Bezos family? No,
No.
I don't expect that to be. I think it's going to be one of those uneventful splits,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they're used to the high profile.
right. I don't think they're allowed to have drama.
Exactly.
Maybe that's
It's
what's wrong with
cost
the
too much.
relationship.
Mm.
They don't have enough drama. Maybe that's what's wrong with the relationship.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like once the front door opens, it's like you're no longer anyone. You are a perceived identity, right? And so only like probably a small portion of who you are is available to the public, and so I imagine that if there's anything going on, no one, of course, to us there wouldn't be any sort of drama, right? Hell no. With that much power and influence, and you don't want people talking about this shit. You want people just to keep the image going, keep the train rolling, and let this just be a little speed bump, right? But I could say as a divorced father myself, it all comes down to how you handle it. Because I've got a fantastic relationship with my ex-wife and a great relationship with my children. And so it really comes down to how you handle it, because it's like my kids thought that it was going to be like in the 80s movies, where the wife is all angry and she's got handfuls of clothes and throwing them out on the front lawn, and he's peeling out in the station wagon with the wood paneling on the side, and he's flipping her off as he drives down the road, and that's what they thought it was, just always like that, because that's how it's portrayed, right? That's how it's portrayed in the media, that divorce is this awful thing that is just destructive.
Yeah.
And you have complete control, right? If the parents are of the mind, to say, hey, we can redefine this however we want, right? And so we have this motto that there's all kinds of family, right? It doesn't have to look a certain way. It doesn't have to be approved by the state, right? You can make it however you want. And so that's what we did, and everything's great. And maybe to Bill and Melinda's situation, like, we're better off now than we ever have been. So who knows, their relationship might be even better after they get divorced.
You never know. I mean, it's less drama. The drama is gone, and I think Jackie said it before. Like, sometimes people deal with the people at the house. People just dealing, all the stuff that goes on. That now we didn't even know that this was a thing. That now it's come to us. But the people back at the house, they been knew that these people are just roommates. These people are just business partners, kind of going along. And I've heard other divorced people say, my kids, I owe my kids more than to just give them just that. They deserve more. So
Yep. I could understand that. And the thing is, like, again, like, you have to understand that in those situations, you can manipulate the situation to be in everyone's best interest. And you just have to get into the right mental space and not bring bring all of your pain into it, right? And say, okay, we can make this however we want, and we were like that, right? We were roommates, and we're just like, this is, I mean, granted, there was a lot of shit, right? But after that, it was just like, hey, like we're just like roommates here. This is just not like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think it's completely natural in that sense, because we're just sold this whole idea of like forever after.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that phrase alone was, I think, kind of perpetuated by Disney, and this whole forever after. And long ago, like pre-romanticist period, marriage was a business contract, essentially. It was a guy who had, say a farmer, and he had land, and he gets married to a woman so they could bear children to help on the farm, so everyone could survive, and then so that land and livestock could then pass on to someone else, right? His children. And like that was the reason for these sort of things. Then the romanticists came in there, and they flipped the whole script, and they started putting love mixing into all of the stuff.
Yeah.
And that changed the whole dynamic completely.
Yeah, love is profitable. Love is beautiful. It's romantic. It's all the things Disney sold us. And
right.
Disney started at 5 years old, when you started learning how to read. They started teaching you the romanticism with Cinderella, that one day the prince will come and save you.
Yeah.
And there are many people who are still living that life, waiting for the prince.
Yeah. And that whole shift happened in like the late 18th century. That's when it shifted.
Yeah.
Because that's when romanticism started hitting with like literature and art. Like culture had a huge shift at that point. And that's when love changed into marriage.
Yeah.
And it's this whole other thing. Dang, Jackie, what's going on? She's in a war zone.
You got the ambulance and the cops and the all that movement was getting me distracted and seasick. I had to.
I know. The fire truck and everything. This is Los Angeles.
Oh wow! I almost thought I was
Los Angeles. I will tell you this. I don't know if you can hold on a second, but you know what? There's something to be said. Hold on.
All right. What?
Yeah.
Hold on. What? You started.
Come back to us when it's time. Oh, okay. Cool.
Look. You break it up on us, Jackie. You like it sounds robotic. We got to get you at another time. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. So my man James, my man James Bush was supposed to pop on. He said all of that was easier said than done. He said, how does one navigate the relationship game with a generation that's built on Disney fantasy?
Yeah.
Come on, talk to me, Coach Justin.
It's totally tough, because you're taking something that once was structural and very organized. Well, I would say somewhat organized and predictable. Like it was just something that made sense, right? It had a function. And now you're injecting something that's completely ethereal, and people are getting married for feelings, right? And not just for feelings, but that's a huge driving factor, right? And then of course it was probably a lot easier it was probably a lot more palatable back in the late 1700s, but as media shifted and it started becoming a little bit more invasive, and people started realizing it was after the 1940s. Check out this folks, if you're watching, check out this documentary on YouTube. It's called The Century of Self, and it's basically the transition of marketing, how psychology was used to transition marketing from saying like, okay, before it was like, this is the best pen, it's made from great materials and will last you a lifetime, right? And that's how advertising used to be. Yeah. And then it shifted, right, by this guy, Edward Bernays, and he discovered that people were
of Ogilvy.
What's that?
I thought you were going to say Ogilvy.
No. Edward Bernays, and he was a contemporary of Freud, and or a student of his, or a nephew, or something like that. I can't remember. But he discovered that masses of people you could alter their psychology and their behavior. And he would do tests, social tests, and mark down like, holy shit, a whole crap ton of people just did something I wanted them to do just by sending them a certain message. And then that converted into, this pen will make you so sexy and so desirable. All you're going to want to do is peel the woman off your body with it. Right. And that's how it changed. Right. And so that tactic mixed with the romanticism turned into the business of love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then the marriage industry and the diamonds are forever. Like, kiss begins with K.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
he was a Jared.
Exactly. So, and it gets into the public consciousness on a mass scale. And tons of people, I mean, wedding planners. I mean, it's just you're looking at Hollywood makes bank off of this idea.
100%.
Right. And it's like so many romantic comedies, so many, right? And like not so comedic, like The Notebook and all that shit. They're banking like crazy off of people's emotional responses to an ideal.
Yeah. Well, the idea is because they know, look, if you think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like you got food and shelter, right there. You have those basic needs, and then right there in the middle is love and belonging, right? Meaning like once your basic needs are taken care of, you want to belong. Everyone wants to be loved, and before you can even get up the pyramid to the top as to self-actualization, and even below that is self-esteem, right? Like thought of well and all that sort of thing, and none of that, you can't even get to those higher things until you solve the love issue, right? So right above food and shelter and like the basic necessities, once you got all that out of the way, I want to be loved. I need to be connected to other human beings in a loving way. And so those advertisers.
But that's not romance, though.
No,
that's a different thing.
No, it's not romance, right? But it could be romance.
right. Yeah, we're kind of like nowadays they kind of like muddy those waters.
Yes, that's where the advertisers pop in that it could be romance. Now it could just be, I love my mom, right? And look, Mother's Day is coming, right? Do mothers want diamonds, or do they want you to call them and tell them that you love them?
Yeah, don't forget to call your moms.
Look, but I'm seeing Jared and I'm seeing Kay commercials that are saying, give mom a diamond necklace.
Oh man.
You know, you see what I'm saying? Mom's got more diamonds than you. Okay, right? Mom doesn't need another diamond necklace.
No.
She needs she needs to hear your voice.
Right.
But they can't make money off of that. They have to give you something to do. Something that makes you feel like you're not doing enough unless you do this. You're not being a good daughter or son unless you spend money and come and spend money with us.
Right. They want to hear thank you. Thank you for bringing me into this world.
Yes.
Right. I was just thinking about this the other day, actually. I'm lying there in my bed. I'm like, I haven't spoken to my mother in probably 2 weeks. And I'm like, man, I'm a fucking shitty son. And I'm thinking to myself, like, the next time I talk to her, which is actually going to be tomorrow, I'm going to thank her for just because I'm a parent. So I understand, like, just a smidgen of the shit that she had to put up with.
Yeah.
But also enjoy and so on. And I guess it just was put into perspective big time. So tomorrow I plan on Thank you very much. You know, like premeditated move on Mother's Day, but she'll still get her card.
Yeah.
But,
now will
but I
mom
needed to say thank you though.
look will mom happily receive that card with some money in it? Yes.
No, I'm not sending my mother money.
You know, like my mother, like she loves all the accolades, but she also loves a heavy card. She loves she loves a heavy card. Okay.
It's funny. My mother would be like, "What are you sending me money for?" She would be very confused if I sent you money.
Yeah, mine wouldn't. She'd be like, "Thank you. Where is this all you got?" No, she would. She's not like that. She would, but she would scream. She's like, "Oh, yeah, thank you." Yeah, man. But like you know, but all of this is kind of even back to our topic today about Bill and Melinda. Like these are all the dynamics that go into like relationships in a high profile relationship. Look, these two have been together so long that I'm sure like their in-laws are now almost feel like they're regular related people, you know what I mean? And so everybody's affected by these sort of situations, and it's going to be really interesting to see how they bounce back from this sort of this situation, man. I think there's a lot more under this surface that we haven't heard yet.
Yeah, but like I said, they're so high profile and probably so protected that we're probably not going to see or hear much of anything, right? Because that's really, if there's any dirt, that's some really expensive dirt.
It's expensive dirt. That's expensive dirt. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So it's like, and there's already that, stuff going around about that island. So
they have an island?
No. The islands that Bill is possibly involved in. Had to do with children and what's his name? Sorry, his name's slipping my mind. The guy who died in prison, didn't kill himself.
Epstein.
Yeah, he was. There's like pictures of them hanging out, and Epstein was at this island, and other high-profile people were at this island. There's talks of, child trafficking and things like that. And Bill's assistant was caught with child pornography on his computer, and so it's like, I would be surprised.
That would be terrible
if Melinda was, part of that was Melinda's motivation, being like, you know what, I am out of here. This crazy ass shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to know about it. I don't care if it's fake. Like just rumors.
Yeah.
I don't even want to be near the rumors.
Yeah. Well, you know what? For the sake of the guy, because we know like even your name being in the same sentence as any of that is already a bad thing. So for the sake of the guy, I'm gonna until it comes out that there is a real link here. I'm gonna give the guy the benefit of the doubt and say, he's innocent until proven guilty, and hopefully he'll get it together with the next phase of his life. And so this is going to be interesting, Justin, and we'll stay tuned. But I think that's good for us for tonight. Go ahead and give us your 30-second commercial, how people can reach out to you and what you got for us.
Yeah, man. It seems like these days a great place to find me is on Clubhouse. And you can find me on Clubhouse at Coach Justin. And my Instagram is Coach Justin _ because some person with my idea was a little bit faster than me. So yeah, it's some little kid, teenager, and I asked him if I could buy it off of him, and he ignored me.
Wow.
Yeah, a little punk.
He probably didn't think it was real.
But yeah, I can be found on Instagram, Coach Justin _ and I'm on Clubhouse all the time, and I'm pretty much in the realms of dating, around dating, masculinity, relationships, basically anything in that area. I'd love to help men. I also work with women, and it's basically, I help guys become the sexy, masculine men that they were meant to be, and kind of parse out the beta male, simpish behaviors that a lot of guys have adopted that kind of ruin relationships and ruin connections.
Man, awesome. Let me see. I'm gonna bring Jackie in for a minute. Hopefully, she don't have the ambulance screaming behind her. And Jackie, thank you so much
for. Can you hear me a little better now? Can you hear me a little better now?
Yeah, it's still kind of computerized, and
just a hair choppy.
Just a
little choppy. Okay. Well, I want to thank you so much. First of all, it was so nice meeting you, and both of you again. And I'm in Clubhouse as well under Jackie Winter. I also have a fan base account under Jackie Winter, and my IG is Jackie Winter Estate. As we speak, look what I'm in front of. I'm in front of what? I don't know if you can see it. OWN. I'm in Hollywood. Our own office is right here, so we were talking about that. So.
Nice.
Anyway, it's good to meet you, and I so nice in your company.
Yeah, it's very computerized. Still,
yes.
I think he caught you.
Yep.
All right, you guys. Look, thank you guys so much for being here. We appreciate all the love and all you guys who dropped your comments down below. If you watch this on replay, continue. Let's let this conversation continue. There's more, I think, that's going to be unfolding here, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on what do you think is happening with Bill and Melinda Gates calling it quits, deciding to get a divorce, and is this just smoke and mirrors? Is this real? What do you think the real reason for it? I love having the conversation, and let's continue the conversation as we go. So thank you guys for being here. Till next time, peace.
All right, man. Thanks.
Love. Bye.